Okay, so you have a band and you want to make a demo or something that's just a little bit better or more elevated than a simple phone recording. I'm going to show you how to get your entire band recorded as cheaply as possible and using stuff you probably already have. So the list of things you're going to need here: one SM57. If your interface has two inputs, microphone inputs, I'd recommend getting two. You'll see why later when we go to mic the drum. A interface, hopefully with two microphone inputs. I have this Focusrite Solo. It has one microphone input, so I'm only going to be using one microphone for all the drums. And then you're going to need this. Most people overlook this. This is a 3.5 millimeter or quarter inch to 3.5 millimeter adapter for your headphones. Most interfaces take a quarter inch jack. My headphones just happen to have one side with a 3.5 millimeter input and then one with a quarter inch here. These cheap ones, $20. I can link them in the description. And then a microphone stand, which will be important for miking the drum set and the guitars. A computer, which I'm banking on you already having, and then Pro Tools Intro, which is free and you can have 8 tracks. So with that in mind, let's get the software on the laptop or computer downloaded and get it up and running. The first goal is going to be just to hear the click track through your interface, just getting your interface to talk to your computer in Pro Tools. That's the first step. After that, we'll move on to recording a scratch track with your guitar for the drummer to follow, and then recording guitars, bass, vocals, etc. Then do a light mix, bounce it. Not going to get into mastering. That's a little too much for this video, but anyway, we're going to get a basic mix hopefully out of this video, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. If you have suggestions or any recommendations for people, please comment them down there. I've noticed I've really got some good feedback from comments in some of my videos. It's sort of been like a Reddit questions and answers community. Really appreciate that, and thanks for watching. So let's get started here. I'm going to switch to a view looking at this laptop here with a fresh install of Pro Tools and everything. It's got absolutely nothing on it, and it's also very low spec, so I didn't want to pick something good. This is like a Walmart laptop for like $200 just to show what you can do. Okay, so hopefully you can see my PC here. This is a clean PC with no Pro Tools or anything on it. I've got this Scarlett interface here, refurbished, and just pull it out and set it up. So it comes with USB-C cable. Just gonna plug that into my computer, and then plug it in the USB-C here. And that will get us started. Computer made a noise, so it recognized it. So I'm just gonna go to Focusrite website. I'm gonna make an account and download their driver basically. So once you get all that filled out, just go ahead and create your account. Verify your email. And right there it is. You can paste that in. And then download included software. So this is what I have here. I have the Scarlett Solo 4th Gen. Went to the product page here on Focusrite's website. And then all the way at the bottom, Focusrite Control 2. It's their app. Hit download. Download. It's downloading up here. I'm just saving that to my downloads, and I'll open it there, and it will choose where to put the actual application. Select English, install. I just leave this default. Next, just go through the wizard, accept, next, install, preparing to install. All right, finish. See, it's got buffer 192, sample rate 4800, so it's now recognizing it. Installation, I'll restart the computer later because I got to get one more thing. Free version of Pro Tools. It's very limited, but it's free, and it's what I'm familiar with. download now. It filled out, continue. I'm gonna save that. So you successfully set up your iLok and activated your Pro Tools license. Download Avid link. So it's downloading up here. This is the Avid application that all the Pro Tools stuff is like inside of. Yes. And just hit install. Okay, and then Pro Tools intro showed up here within Avid link. So I'm just gonna hit install. And it's downloading here, you can see. Okay, so that finished installing. Also, sorry, I did not realize my microphone stopped working. Hopefully my microphone works through this. So just hit English OK, install. Okay, so that just finished restarting. Now I'm gonna double click and open Pro Tools here. It's gonna go through whatever it needs to do. The goal here is gonna be just to get sound through your interface. Most people get stuck right here. There we can see that the Focusrite showed up 48, buffer size 129. License stories update, activate. Remember me, next. Pro Tools intro, yep, next. This PC. Okay, successful. Please select the audio device. We're gonna do it already found Focusrite, USB ASIO. Looks like that's good. Bit depth, I always do 16 and sample rate 44.1 just because that's kind of standard. And CD Baby, for example, will not accept anything that is higher than this. It only takes 44.1 kilohertz and 16 bits. So if you're releasing something on CD Baby, you need that those settings there. And then create after you name it whatever you want. I'm leaving it untitled. And you can see down here in the bottom corner, it changed it to 44.1, 256. I'm going to enlarge that. Then I'm going to go up to setup playback engine. So this is set to 256, which might be okay. I don't think this computer can handle 64 samples. That's really fast. I think it can handle 128. 128 samples is generally where I record, and it's fast enough that I can plug my guitar straight in and use an amp sim without any delay or without too much delay. It's not noticeable, but it's not so fast that it slows the computer down and it can't handle it. So that's where I like to run. And then, yeah, okay. So next we're gonna create a click track. So you can see right here, it's got 120 beats per minute, but I'm just gonna go to track and then create click track. So there's our click. And then, like I said, if you want to change the tempo, you can just double click here and then change that to whatever you want there. For example, 100, whatever. That's going to be determined by what speed your song actually is. But next we can hit play here. So if we hit play, we go over to our box, let's just see if we can hear it. This output is for like speakers that you plug in here. We're just going to use this output for headphones, and the one thing you're going to need is a 1/4-inch jack here. I happen to have headphones that are like 20 bucks, and their cable looks like this. One side is a 1/4-inch jack and one side is a 3.5 millimeter jack. So I'm going to just plug the 1/4-inch jack right in there, and then the 3.5 millimeter end goes in my headphones. As you can see, it has the 1/4-inch and the 3.5 millimeter. So I'm going to plug that in and turn it up, and you can hear. So there you go. That is the first major step. We got sound through our interface through Pro Tools Intro. For the next part of this video, I'm going to show actually recording something with it, but this is huge. If you can get to this point where you can hear the click track, you're over halfway there. Okay, so I'm going to record a scratch track with guitar so I can play along on the drums to it. This isn't going to be too perfect. But I'm making a new track. I'm just gonna call it G1 for guitar 1. That works because I have one hand to use here. And input 2 because I'm using the input 2 of my interface. And the volume, we're definitely gonna want it down. I'll just preemptively turn it down. -8, armed it there, armed it here, so we're ready to roll. I did a check for the gain that I'm not clipping, but I just have the SM57 a little off center on my guitar cabinet right there, and I'm using these pedals here. And I'll check and make sure it's not clipping with full gain. All right, looks good. So I'm just gonna record a scratch track to play the drums to here on the guitar, and we'll see how that goes. I'm getting lazy and running out of time today, so what I did was I just did all the guitars, 2 rhythms, panned left and right stereo, bass track, mono in the center, lead in the center, and now I'm gonna go record the drums over there with just the one microphone in the crotch position and just see how it sounds here. Again, I recommend doing this in a different order, but I'm being lazy, so let's see how it goes. Okay, so here's the drum setup. I got this SM57 in the crotch position, we'll call it. It's right in front, kind of over the kick drum, looking at the side of the snare. Ignore all these other microphones. They're not connected or doing anything right now. It's just that into my interface over here. I'm gonna set the gain so it's not clipping, and that's gonna be it. I did the same for my bass. I just put the SM57 right in front of the bass amp and went with it. Notice these volumes are all negatives, like -8, -8, -12, -11. Just, they're in the ballpark, so I'm not clipping the master. You don't ever want to turn the master down. So I'm gonna make a track, new, call it drums. Go. I'm gonna turn that down preemptively. Now I can't see the input and outputs. I like to do this. I like to go to view and edit window views and include the input and output. There I can see input 1, I don't want that, I want input 2. And then I also like to have the other stuff on here, like inserts. That's gonna be for effects or plugins. And then also sends. So I like to be like that. And then the other thing you're gonna wanna do is add a master fader. So if you go up to track, new, and you do stereo, audio track, we're gonna change that to master fader and create. This is what you don't wanna go over 0 and clip it. Don't change the volume of this ever, leave it 0. You just don't want it to be clipping. That is clipping from the click, which I had really loud so I could hear it while recording. So I turned that down. Arm it, input 2 again, because I'm using only what I have, which only has one microphone input on input 2. I'm gonna turn the click up really loud, so it's gonna be clipping the master, but it's just so I can hear while I'm recording. And we'll see how that goes here. I was originally gonna do 2 microphones, one dedicated for the kick and then do a different technique, but I realized this only has a line input and one microphone input, which I gotta plug it in. So that's what we're gonna do, see what we can get out of it. The next thing I wanted to do is just add some aux effects, parallel input. So the lead here, let me get rid of this. So the send A to Z, I'm gonna click here, I'm gonna do new track. I'm gonna call it Guitar FX. That's an aux input. do that. All right, there's the volume for it. I'm gonna put it up. To change the volume on it, you would have to go down, where is it here? Oh, I put it on the drums, my bad. Let me drag that up to the lead. So now it's on the lead guitar. It's at about 0. And down here, I'm just gonna put in some like multi-channel plug-in. I'm gonna do some delay, mod delay 3. I think, let me just do, I don't know. Let me do an echo or something preset. That's cool. And then let me also do another plug-in here. And I'll do a reverb. Deverb, which everyone hates, but I think it's cool. I don't know, ambient dark, something like that. Now, I probably want to put an EQ on here too, just to cut off some of those extreme lows that it's going to be really bad. So I'll do that in, cut that off. I'll cut off everything below like 220 there. Okay, the point of this though is you're going to have a stereo effect on your lead guitar, which is going to sound huge. So I'm going to do the same thing with the vocal effects, and for vocals I'm also going to put some compression on it, just some basic compression. And we'll see how that goes. All right, I've played with this for about 30 minutes. I think I'm going to bounce it, and then also I'll do a little quick master for you. Here's guitar 1, the EQ that I did. Guitar 2, same thing. Lead, like I said. Lead effects volume for this stuff down here, the mod delay, deverb, and the EQ. The bass EQ there that you can see. The drums, I ended up doing this, just a pinch of lo-fi, like 0.5 and 0.2, to try and clip it to reduce those peaks, since there isn't a built-in clipper with Pro Tools here. And then I did the EQ. This is what I settled on. I reduced the output to compensate because I was really slamming it. And then I just did the drum comp basic stock default setting here. Thought it sounded pretty good. Down here, vocals, what I ended up doing is I just put a de-esser on with the male DS preset because I'm lazy. Vocal comp preset, and then another vocal leveler preset on the vocals with these effects here. I got this louder than the actual vocal track here with the vocal effects. But I just got an EQ on the vocal effects, the parallel effects, the delay, mod delay 3, and a deverb. I just played with those until I thought it sounded good. So that's it, very simple. I'm trying to make it sound as good as I can without making it too much. So I'm gonna bounce this. Again, I'll let you hear that, and then I'll also have the mastered version of this for you to hear. Since a song, if it's not mastered, it's gonna be much quieter. I recommend you master your songs, but that is a discussion for another day. It's just too much to fit in this video. So let's see how this turned out. Also, I completely forgot, once you're ready to bounce, you can go to the end of your song and clip up here in the time. That's too early, so I'll go back here so I'm safe. And drag it to the start or wherever you want it to start. I'll drag it all the way to start. And then you're gonna do File, Bounce Mix. Name it, 16-bit 44.1, yep, sounds good. Bounce folder directory. You know what? I'm just gonna put it, yeah, right there. Documents, bounce. And then you will have your track as a WAV file, which I would then go master. But anyway, here it is.